The U.S. Census for 2018 found that 8.8% of the American population was uninsured for the entire year. While at first this percentage may sound insignificant, it really means that 28.5 million people went without health insurance in this country for an entire year. When you take a look at the populations that are affected by the statistic, it is mostly people in poverty. Many people are without a job who also may potentially be homeless. In this statistic, there are also people who have jobs that do not offer healthcare, and in this country, healthcare is not cheap, with the average checkup bill to see a doctor reaching almost $250 before any medication or lab work is even completed. This leaves millions of Americans unable to get the proper healthcare that they need. This is why I chose to continue my service learning project with Shepherd's Hope. Shepherd's Hope is a completely free clinic with multiple locations in the Orlando area that operates solely off of volunteers and local donations, including from major hospital systems in the areas. Shepherd's Hope provides after-hours care to patients who are uninsured or underinsured that lack the ability to pay for health care and are unable to qualify for government benefits. When I hear about different clinics like this and the problems they're attempting to solve, the first question I had always asked myself is, how am I able to help if I'm not a nurse or a doctor or a medic? This was one of the first major things volunteering in this clinic taught me. It was that volunteering here is not an individual thing. Together as a collective movement, you make the clinics work. Of course, the doctors and nurses are able to treat the patients, but it also relies on translators, people to register the patients when they get there, people to make copies and keep records for future uses, and setting the clinics up so that they can operate. Personally, the role I played when I was there was assisting patients in their next steps after they saw the doctor. I printed off their information and helped schedule them an appointment to return when a specialist was volunteering in the office, or give them additional resources for where they can go to continue getting the help that they had deserved. A major thing I have learned to reflect upon from my time volunteering was that you never know what a person is going through. You can assume that someone who is living on the streets and is without a home may also lack health insurance and be in need of getting help. But what about the people who have a job and have a home? While it may appear like they are not having struggles, many of these people are still without something as basic as healthcare. This affects so many people's abilities to live a healthy life. They do not qualify for any more assistance because it may appear like they would be able to afford it, but this is very often, unfortunately, not the case. Shepherd's Hope offers these people just that, hope. When they are turned away and unable to pay for health care, this clinic offered them that hope they couldn't yet find. This is what made this project so meaningful to me. It was eye-opening how much a basic after-hours clinic can make the world to someone who is struggling to find help elsewhere. It also made me realize that volunteering is not something one person does alone. It is a group action that needs to come together in order to make something much more amazing happen, and that is changing someone's life for the better.